Hey everyone, welcome back to my number sense series. This video we're going to be doing the third video in our estimation series on multiplication part 2. So last time we did a particularly Hey everyone, welcome back to my number sense series. This is going to be our third video in our estimation series, multiplication part 2. So last time we did a particular kind of problem where the answer involves just rounding the numbers until they are nice. This time, we have to think of a slightly more clever way to manipulate the numbers. Especially this time, number sense likes to give you fractions. So, for example, they're going to test you on fractions like 1/3, 1/6, 1/8, and 1/9. These four are all very, very important fractions to memorize. 1/3, 2/3, memorize 1/6, 5/6, memorize everything over 8, everything over 9. It might seem like a lot of work, but it's not that hard if you kind of understand what you're doing, and it's going to be super, super helpful for these kinds of questions and also other kinds of questions. There's also one other fraction that number sense is going to test you on, 1/7, but this fraction is so special that I've actually reserved another video just for that fraction, so don't worry about it for now, but just know that this is a very, very special number that we're going to be dedicating an entire video to in the future. But right now we are just concerned with these and how to apply these to multiplication questions. For example, 333 times 391. Now, if you saw the other video, you might be tempted to call this, maybe 330 times 400 or something like that, and that could work. But a nicer solution here is actually to look at 333 as 1/3 times 1,000, right? So this is going to be 1/3, because 1/3 is 0.333333 repeating, so it's approximately 0.333. So this is going to be 1/3 times 1,000. And this is the critical observation that we're going to be pretty much making in all of these questions, that this can be turned into a fraction times 391. So what we want is this number to be divisible by 3, so we can cancel that out with this. But 391, if you know the divisibility rule for 3, that's not divisible by 3, but we can round it to 390, and 390 is for sure divisible by 3. So this is approximately 1/3 times 1,000 times 390, and now when we multiply this, we can simply write 130,000 as our answer. Now, if we'd done our rounding thing, we might have ended up with 132,000, but this is definitely closer. Now, 260 times 667 is going to be a pretty similar idea. Basically, we just have to recognize which one is a fraction and apply it accordingly. Here, 667 is going to be a fraction, and what is that fraction? It's approximately 2/3. So 260 times 2/3 times 1,000, because 2/3 is 0.667 approximately, and so when we multiply it by 1,000, we shift this decimal place 3 times, and we get 667, right? So 260 times 2/3, what I would do here is simply call this 520/3 times 1,000, and then we can kind of do some trickery in our heads. 520/3 is about 173. You could call this, 510 plus 10, and then do some division that way. 173 and then times 1,000 is 173,000, just like that. Now we're going to move on to some fractions with different denominators in case you're getting tired of the 3. 555 times 361. Whenever you see 3 repeating digits like this, it's pretty much a dead giveaway that it's something over 9. Even 333 is technically 3/9. We know 555 is going to be 5/9. 5/9 times, again, 1,000, because we have 3 digits here. So then it's times 361. But once again, our goal is to have this 9 in the denominator kind of cancel out with this. So we want this to be divisible by 9, and luckily when we round it, it's going to round to 360, which is, of course, divisible by 9. So if we round this to 360, so 5/9 times 360, that's going to be 5 times 360 divided by 9, which is 5 times 40. 5 times 40, 200 times 1,000, 200,000. And if you can't do that fluently in your head just yet, of course, don't worry. That's what the practice problems are for. This video is just so you get the idea. And of course, you should start memorizing the fractions. Now we have 451 times 167. What is this going to be? It's going to be 451 times 1 over 6 times 1,000. So, of course, we want this to be divisible by 6, so we're going to round it to 450. So notice that these questions are kind of structured so that usually whenever you round, it's going to be a nice number that you round to. 450 divided by 6 is 75, so it's going to be 75 times 1,000, which is 75,000. Our last question, another 1 over 9. So this is 7 over 9 times 452. So 7 over 9 times 1,000, times 452. But 452 we should round to 450. So it's 7 over 9 times 450. This is 7 times 50, which is 350. 350 times 1,000, 350K. 350,000. And that's how you would do all of these problems. So if you are able to memorize all of these fractions and like 1 over 8, 2 over 8, 3 over 8, 4 over 8, all of those kinds of fractions, it should be very obvious, very, very obvious when these kinds of questions pop up. The kind of questions that they want you to convert to fractions in order to make the computation easier. So really, it's just about experience, it's about knowing the fractions, but once you do that, the computation is going to be super, super easy. So I hope that made sense, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.